Okay, we're going to start algebra exam prep. We're going to start with all of the level 1, level 2, and level 3 questions. We're going to skip level 4. We'll come back to level 4. Let's see if we can get an A first, and thereafter we'll worry about the rest of them. So the first question is solve for x. Generally, it doesn't really matter. It's 3 marks. You can decide whether you are going to factorize it, whether you're going to use your calculator and work backwards, or generally what you decide to do is fine, right? Even if you use the minus b formula for this part, they would not mark you down. But they do want you to solve for x with factorizing, okay? So that could be the answer. That's one way. We could use our calculator with the mode equation, or you could even use the minus b formula if you don't remember how to factorize, right? And work backwards, but you do get 1 mark. 1, 2, 3. So you do get a mark for the factors as well. So if you are going to use the minus b formula, just make sure that you actually do it correctly, because we don't want to lose 1 mark for something really easy that goes there. 2 into 1, and yeah, see this minus b formula technically gives you the answer. You'll get 2 marks. What you won't get is you won't get the marks for the factorizing. So go backwards and put this into the calculator. Put this into your steps. Sorry, guys. You're going to lose the mark for this part here. So a lot of us are going to lose 1 mark because your teachers are following like a strict marking guideline. And if you don't get this part correctly, we're stuck. The next one is here, correct your 2 decimal places. Please understand that questions like this means you have to use the minus b formula, and you have to round off absolutely perfectly. So A is equal to 3, B is equal to 9, C is equal to 4. If we go and the same, X is equal to minus B plus minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Okay. Now if we deal with this one as well, this would be X equals to minus into 9 plus minus the square root of b squared, which is 9 squared, minus 4 into a into c, all over 2 into a, which is 2 into 3. You would get x equals to minus 2.46, or x equals to minus 0.54. But remember this minus, guys. It's important because as I'm doing this question, I'm thinking about it. This minus is already here. So this was minus into minus 11. Don't make mistakes like that. It's very simple to make a mistake like this. Always double check. And I went to this last question. I'm thinking about minus 9, and I'm like, nope, I skipped it. Right? Please round off correctly. This part it says round off correct to 2 decimal places. So if you make a mistake here, you are losing marks. So the 3 marks would come 1, 2, 3. That would be the 3 marks. Now the next one is not so fun. It's not level 4 though, but it's not that fun. If we're going to solve for x, the moment you see this in question 1, so the moment you see that, or that, you're going to draw a graph, right? So if we solve this, 1 over 2 to the power of minus x equals, or let's just make it equal for now, or it's fine, 0 times, I'm going to take that over. This one's going over, and that's 0. Okay. Now, guys, honestly, from here, it's quite simple. There's no need for us to panic. There's no need for us to stress. We can deal with each part. We don't even need to take this over, to be honest, because let's actually talk about it properly. Look at this question. And later on, you might get a question like this: x minus 2 into x, let's say, plus 3 equals to 0. Looking at this question again, this one and this question is almost the same. I did take the factor over, but then thinking about it again, you don't have to. It's really, really simple, because if you had something like this, all you tell me is, Keegan, this is x minus 2 equals to 0, and this is x plus 3 equals to 0. So this is x equals to positive 2, x equals to negative 3. Please understand this is not part of the question. I just made this up now while looking at the question. I'm thinking of, it's a factor. Why do I need to take it over? So here I could say half to the power of minus x less than or equal to 0. I can say 3 to the minus x is less than or equal to 0. And then I can go and solve it. So if I solve this, this is 3. Let's take it over. This is minus x less than or equal to minus 3. X, I'm going to divide by minus 1, guys. Divide by minus 1. The moment you divide by a minus number, the sign changes. So this becomes greater than or equal to positive 3. You would get a mark there. Okay. Now, we could state this quite easily, like x is the element of 3 to infinity. If you guys know interval notation. If not, don't stress. The next one is also a bit tricky, because if we deal with minus 1, remember this is minus, it means wrong place. We can invert. So we can make this to 2 to the power x is greater than 0. And what we need to understand is this one is a bit tricky to deal with. This one's a little bit tricky to deal with, but we can solve it as well. So we can stop at this point here, right? And I'll show you guys why when we go more into the level 4 questions. But for now, we'll stop at that point, and we need to be able to draw a graph. How do we draw a graph for this question? If any of you know. So normally when we get questions like this, we normally draw a parabola, but we're not able to draw a parabola at this point. It's impossible for us to draw a parabola. We're going to struggle at this point to draw a parabola. So we need to figure out how to draw this graph. This would be more of an exponential graph, to be honest. We could make quite a simple graph, or we could go there. I think we could go there, but I don't think we need to. I think it's easier for us to just say x is greater than or equal to 3, and then say there, right? Because the graph is going to be a little bit difficult for you guys to draw. When it's a parabola, it's fine. It's easy. There's no need to sketch. There's no need to draw perfectly. We can just sketch and we can just draw it quite simply. But sometimes interval notation is going to be easier to do. This one here was a bit messed up because it couldn't be solved quite easy. Just understand that one couldn't just be solved. But the rest of it, I think is quite simple. The rest of it's quite simple. This is the only level 4 question that's here. This one is a problem. When I'm explaining, I think it's the 3rd paper or 4th paper. We'll come back to this and I'll explain why. But the next question is level 4 in calculation. Nope. Not at all. Level 3. The only reason it's 5 marks is because one of the answers don't work out, so you'll have to substitute. So whenever you get a root, please remember if the root is there, you have to sub the answers back and see if it's equal or not equal. That's why it's 5 marks, right? Let's deal with this. This is square root of 2 minus 7x plus 2x equals to 0. If I take the 2x over, it becomes minus 2x. 2 minus 7x. If I square both sides, I'm going to end up with 2 minus 7 equals to 4x squared. Now, guys, this is just a straightforward quadratic equation. This is 4x squared plus 7x minus 2 equals to 0. We can do the minus b formula. You can solve with your calculator. You could do whatever you need to do because there's no marks for that part. But after we get the minus b formula, we would get x equals to minus 2. And we would get x equals to 1 over 4. Now, guys, the moment you see a root, please understand you need to substitute back and try and solve it. So I'm going to do it here. Let me go here. This is 2 minus 7 into minus 2 plus 2 into minus 2. And let's see if it equals to 0. So let's go here. This would be root of 2 minus 7 into minus 2. And this equals to 4. And this equals to minus 4. And that does equal to 0. So this one checks out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fifth mark comes from here. When I deal with this one, and we look at it properly, it does not work out. This does not equal to 0. So this one does not work out. And you can just test it. Just put it into the calculator and see. But you know what? This does not equal to 0. So there is a problem. This equals to 1. It technically equals to 1. So it doesn't equal to 0. So it doesn't work out. Now for the next part, I also think this one is quite simple. These types of questions are generally easy. You do have to put in some effort though to certain parts of it, right? So my general rule is to try and get all the bases the same and then take out the same power. So look at this 4. I don't like this 4. So let's make it 2 squared because 2 squared is 4. And this is going to be 2011. Okay, 2011. Now, if it's 2011 with the algebra power law, what's going to happen? Algebra power law, what's going to happen is this is going to be 2 to the 4022. Okay. Now, we need to be able to solve this quite simply. There's a lot of ways we can do it. We can take out on the top, take out there. Okay, cool. Let's take out other things. So we're going to look at all of these powers. And the lowest power, I want to cancel the bottom out. That's what I really want to cancel out. So the lowest power is 4022. So let's take out 4022 from all of them. So I'm going to take out 2 to the power 4022. And I'm left with 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 3. Little bit of a tricky one. Guys, again, if I'm taking out 2022 from this one, so guys, I'm saying 2000, 4000. If I'm taking out 4022 from this, I'm left with 3, correct? So again, let's go and write it properly. If I had 2 to the power of 4025, I could write this as 2 to the power of 4022 multiplied by 2 to the power 3. So that's what I did there. Plus, if I take a 2 to the 4022 from here, I'm left with 2 to the power of 1. All over the 2 to the 4022. And we cancel. All you're left with is 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 1, which equals to 8 plus 2, which is equal to 10. We'll come back to this one. I don't consider it level 4, but there is a bit of practice, and this level 4 part is a bit confusing. This simultaneous, a lot of you are going to make mistakes. Okay. A lot of us are going to make mistakes for this one. So let's double check. Let's go here. This is y. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. Right, so y equals to 2x minus 1. That's equation 3. Our rule is to let's sub equation 3 into 2. Now guys, 2 is, maybe it's complicated, maybe it's not. Maybe you want to simplify first. Generally I simplify first, right? So this would be 3x squared. 3x squared plus 3xy minus xy minus y squared. So now we know this equation is technically 3x squared plus 2xy minus y squared. Okay, let's deal with it here separately. So I got 3x squared plus 2xy minus y squared. If I substitute y, guys, I'm subbing y into this, so I end up with 3x squared plus 2x into y, which is 2x minus 1, minus 2x minus 1 squared. Okay? From here, things do not become very fun. There's a lot of mistakes that can happen. I'll write here and then we'll take it as thing. So this is 3x squared. This could be plus 4x minus 2x. Okay, plus 4x minus 2x. That's okay. Now this one is troublesome because this is minus and there's a bracket here. 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1. So it's very easy to make an algebra mistake here, including myself. That's why I'm a bit worried of this with this part here. But let's try and get it right. This is 4x squared minus 2x plus 1. This is 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. And that's minus. Now guys, what would happen is this is minus 4x squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay? That one, I'm going to distribute the minus 1 throughout all of this. And let's see what happens if we made any mistakes or if we technically got this question right. Because if we got it right, then it's fine. If we got it wrong, it's kind of a problem, yeah? So 4, 4, 3. Okay, cool. So let's see if there's any like major mistakes, but I don't, maybe not. We'll see now. Minus, minus, minus. Okay. Okay, guys, double check because distribute properly, that's 4x squared, right? Okay, let's work. So what happens is 4x squared and minus 4x squared cancels out. We're left with 3x squared. We're left with plus, so this is minus 2 plus 4 is plus 2x, and that's minus 1. That's equal to 0. This part, it's really easy. Always go back and double check if things are not working out. If you're getting recurring decimals and if you're getting really, really funny answers, and most of the time you made a mistake. If you're getting whole numbers and just straight fractions, it works, right? But if you're getting really, really funny decimal answers, most likely, if this is not calculus, you made a mistake. Okay, so we use the minus b formula here, and what's going to happen is we're going to end up with x equals to minus 1, or x equals to 1/3. Now all we would do is substitute these two answers into the third equation. That's the best equation to substitute into. It's the simplest one. Y equals to 2x minus 1. Y equals to 2 into 1/3 minus 1. And then y equals 2 minus 1/3. And here, y equals to 2x minus 1. Y equals to 2 into minus 1 minus 1. And y equals to minus 3. And those are the two answers. The next one is not really a fun question. It does take some time. Two integers have a sum of m. Okay. So guys, I got a x plus y equals to m, right? And a product of n. So now it means x times y equals to n. Okay. So we can let the integers, integer 1 equal to x. We can let integer 2 equal to y. Determine the expression for the sum of the squares of the two integers in terms of m and n. Okay, so what's going to happen is this is just straightforwardly, guys, this is just FOIL. It seems like it's level 4, but it's not level 4. It's just literally level 1. So let's work with it. X plus y squared. They want the sum of the squares of the two integers. If I do FOIL with this, I'm going to open it up as x plus y, x plus y. If I deal with this, this becomes x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, right? If we deal with this quite simply, let's go and simplify. So we're going to put it as x squared plus y squared on one side. We got this 2xy on the other side. This one's good because we know what this is. This one is just straightforward 2 times n, which is 2n. Because we know xy equals to n. So 2xy equals to 2n. That's fine, right? The problem is the next one. What happens with the next one? But even, you know what? Let's not even do this here. I think there's an easier way to deal with this one. The easier way to deal with this would be to factorize or to use the thing, but let's go with x plus y. Anybody knows what this would be? Guys, the reason I said it's not that complicated is the distribution part. You know, we're restarting it because some of my students had a problem, but that's x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, right? And guys, we know this is equal to the x plus y squared. Okay. Now, what we want to find out is, the question asked us, determine the expression for the sum of the squares of the two integers in terms of n and m. Right, so it would be quite simple. Let's see, one of my students sent me an answer. Yeah, she is kind of correct. But yeah, guys, the other students said to rearrange. We are okay with rearranging this, right? That one shouldn't be a problem. And that one shouldn't be a problem as well. Now, what we understand is this is x plus y squared, which equals to m squared. And this is plus and plus 2 into n, and 2 into n. Now, the question wanted, what is this part? So they just want this part. So we can leave it like this. It could be like that, but we could also rearrange. We need to rearrange for you guys to fully understand, right? So let's work with it. Let's work with this properly. And then we'll deal with it. So this part we understand. We fully understand this part. The next thing I would do is, let me write somewhere here, x plus y squared. The next thing that I would do is I would take this part over and then I would solve it. So when I take it over, I get x plus y squared minus 2xy, and that equals to there. So either way, I'd be fine with you guys with this answer. I'd be fine, very, let's say, I'd be okay if you guys get this answer as m squared minus 2n equals to x squared plus y squared. Again, the question asks for the sum of the squares of the two integers in terms of n and m. So one more time, let's redo one more time. We first distribute. This will be x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. I'll rearrange it to what they wanted. Remember that this is technically equal to x plus y squared. Let's rearrange it to what they want, x squared plus y squared, and then this is plus 2xy. Let's leave this as x plus y squared. And now let's take the 2xy over. So this is x plus y squared minus 2xy, and that equals to x squared plus y squared. And this is what they wanted, guys. They wanted the expression for the sum of the squares of the two integers in terms of n and this thing. So they wanted the sum of integer 1 plus integer 2 squared. Not all squared, but they wanted the sum of the integers squared. So we know x plus y is equal to m, so that's m squared minus 2n, and that equals to x squared plus y squared. Guys, always double check everything and attempt a few times, try different ways if it doesn't work out. I would say maybe it's level 4 in understanding. In terms of calculation, it's not, but we'll do many examples like this just to practice.